My name's Sergeant Looper.
My name is Sergeant Randall Garcia.
My name is April Roberts.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Jared Stubbs. I'm over the Communications Division and Intel Cell at the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office. When it comes to stress, previously I was in a patrol position, and the stress that we dealt with there was what we were dealing with on situations where there were a lot of things going on, or people had serious incidents where something terrible had happened, or their tempers were flaring. Now that I've moved into the communications division, the stress is a little different. The stress now comes from so many things going on at once. You know, we don't have people yelling in our faces or trying to fight. However, we're responsible for getting any information that the deputies need parish-wide. So at any time, you know, we can be dealing with 6 deputies on the road, plus whoever's working investigations, plus the fire districts, EMS, people calling, asking for information. So the stress has changed, but stress never really changes. The biggest way that we can deal with stress is by mitigating pre-stressors. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you have your uniform together, have your clothes together, so you don't have to make that choice. When you have everything organized so that when you're at work, you're prepared to work, and you don't have to run around looking for different things. When your workspace is organized and it makes sense where things are, so you're not struggling in the moment to find those tools that you need. That's one way that I deal with stress. And then the other big thing is to remember that most of the time, the things that we find stressful really shouldn't be that stressful. You know, the everyday in and out of work, it is what it is. It was there yesterday, it's there today, it'll be there tomorrow. So deal with it as it comes, and just remember that those things, if you allow them to add up, that's what tears you down. But if you approach it like the old saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So just tackle one task at a time and handle it as you come to it. Another thing that helps me deal with stress, my mother always had the saying, pick it up once. If you pick up a task, if you start doing something, handle it, see it through. Don't do it just enough to get by for now, because that means you'll be dealing with it later. And you know that you're going to be dealing with it later, so you're going to stay stressed about it until you finally handle it all the way. So I guess my best methods, deal with it ahead of time. Deal with what I can do before I get to it, and then handle the rest as it comes. You know, family, find a hobby, find something outside of this job. You know, we're regular people. We're the same as everybody else. So we need friends. We need, you know, one of the other big stressors that we have in this job, and every job has it. Your friends want to know, what can you do to help me with your profession? So it's good to have friends that don't always bring their personal life into your professional life. And the same holds true the opposite. You know, we don't need to take our professional lives home to our families. So I guess that's about the best that I can say. Handle it as it comes, and try to mitigate it before it gets there. And remember, if it's the everyday humdrum stuff, then is it really that stressful, or do we just imagine it?
My name's Sergeant Looper. I'm a day shift sergeant in the jail. The way I deal with stress is every day's, you got to take it day by day. You never know what's going to happen. It's always busy. There's people coming in and out all day, every day. There's different things going on, things you don't ever see out in the world. We went to a conference not too long ago. There was a very great guy there speaking. He said that when you go home, you can't use your house as a dumping ground. If you go home with 5% because you're tired, make that 100% out of that 5%. This ain't for everybody. You gotta be built for it. You can't take your problems home. That's the worst thing you can do.
My name is Sergeant Randall Garcia. I work in the Criminal Patrol Division. I'm assigned to District 3 as a sergeant on shift. So my duties are to oversee the deputies on shift with me, as well as assist with any investigations and any follow-ups that pertain to any crimes that happen in District 3, as well as working regular shifts.
And how do you like to handle stress?
That's a hard question. It's a blanket question because humanity, we as humans, we deal with stress differently. So everybody has their own answer to that. I took some advice of some people when I first started in his career not to compartmentalize and don't make it personal. You want to be as personal as possible, but you don't want to be personal in the sense that when you go to see some of the rawest things that you've seen in your life when you're not used to that, you don't want to make it personal. You want to show up and do your job, leave, and don't take it with you. And find that person that you trust that's been through some things and just go have a conversation with them. And the most important thing is to talk about your feelings. I know we as men or women don't like to come out and talk about how we feel about certain things, but that's the worst thing you can do is hold it in. So to answer your question, I like to surround myself with people that are positive, um, and have an outlet to talk about the day, or not specifically in detail, but just say I'm having a hard day and this is how I'm feeling. So that's how that I deal with stress. Also, getting away and going away from here, get your mind off the job for a little while, is a good way to get rid of the stress that's going on with this job, this line of work.
My name is April Roberts. I'm an administrative deputy sheriff with Washington Parish Sheriff's Office. And how I deal with stress on the job and life, period. On the job, with me doing the job that I do, which I do tickets, sales tax, property tax, warrants, and attachments, I come in contact with a lot of people. Some people are not happy about certain situations. So I approach things with a positive attitude. Prayer is the number one thing, is how I deal with stress, but approaching things with a positive attitude, even though it can be it can be stressful, helps with the situation. How I deal in my daily life, I try to stay away from things that cause me to be stressful, distance myself from it. Um, just That's one of the things that I do. And if I feel like I am going to be in that type of situation, listening to music, walking, talking, having conversations, and just getting it off of your chest will definitely help with the stressful situation. So that is pretty much how I deal with stress, is not to put myself in those, not to gravitate towards situations that will be stressful. So